Noon, everyone. Welcome to Curious Sports Pulse. This is Provide the Spark. It's with something of a heavy heart, genuinely, where we're going to talk about Bill Walton and his passing earlier after a battle with cancer. And I know, especially toward the end, some people enjoyed taking cheap shots. Some were infuriated with his presence on air. Not me. I'm someone who I enjoyed him until his last broadcast. I love what he provided for us as a broadcaster, and I'm going to miss him. And everything that just how uplifting it was, how he approached life, and I never minded when he went off topic and talked about other things outside of basketball. Why? Because ultimately, everything is bigger than the sport. Everything is the whole reason why we enjoy it is because of living, because of life. And so I really like the mindset and the approach that Bill Walton had to his broadcasting. And I think it's something that will be dearly missed. So Bill Walton will touch a little bit more on him later on. Also, James Harden and Chris Paul, they appear to be having a lot of noise surrounding their name, of course, and some view them as a top 10 backcourt duo of all time, at least offensively. Um, hard to argue that would be defensively the case. But either way, is there a reunion around the corner? Good God, I hope not. But we will see, I guess. And then finally, at the moment, we're in the NFL offseason. So this is something that I think is interesting that I saw. Where did I see it? In my bookmarks. I saw it either on PFF. Oh, it was PFF Fantasy and Betting. So I guess that's the mindset or the frame that we need before touching on this specifically. And again, we're going to touch James Harden, Chris Paul, and Bill Walton here momentarily. But first, this is something I saw that was somewhat interesting from PFF Fantasy. Choose your duo, Sam LaPorta, Amon-Ra St. Brown, or Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hockenson. I say, if you're asking me, which I think we are at this moment because we're on the Curious Sports Pulse. I personally, I would have to go with the Detroit Lions duo right there. And why is that? Because Justin Jefferson is dynamic. He's a great, and I'm willing to say that already. He's a great all-time talent. That's for sure in my mind. But largely, do I think that there's a huge drop off just in pure production between him and Sam LaPorta and Amon-Ra St. Brown? And then I think TJ Hockenson for sure. So that's where the gap would be from Justin Jefferson to the two Detroit Lions players. And then there would be an even further gap. The gap would be a little larger between those two, whoever you have first, second, depending on, how you value the tight end, wide receiver, the system, whatever. Between those two then and TJ Hockenson, I think it's an even larger gap. So obviously you have Justin Jefferson one. And then again, like I said, depending on the matchup, depending on the offense, different people could have it Sam LaPorta 2 or Amon-Ra St. Brown 2. Personally, I like Sam LaPorta and everything he does from his position. Amon-Ra obviously more of an explosive threat. But it's a legitimate question in terms of who is the better duo. Obviously, Justin Jefferson is the best talent by far. So that's not the question here. That's a kind of no duh. That's an obvious statement. But then particularly with the Detroit Lions and their current culture and that current system, I think I go with LaPorta and St. Brown. That's where I'm leading in all this. And now we've seen Jared Goff. We know what he is at this point. He's someone who needs a good system around him. He's not necessarily a talent, I almost said evaluator, elevator. He's not someone who's going to make the surrounding cast better. But if he's in a good system, if the pieces around him are good, then he can get the job done. He can get the ball to the danger areas. He can get the ball to the playmakers, which works out great for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Try saying that 3 times fast. And Sam LaPorta. And now compare that to now the Vikings situation where you're either going to have Sam Big Trunk Darnold or JJ running back McCarthy. I got to tell you, when you take all of that into consideration, who would I pick right now? Personally, I'm going to go with that Detroit Lions duo. And now, moving on to the NBA, James Harden is receiving, I don't know what to call it, something of a publicity jump, a publicity uh, heightened awareness. I guess that's what we're going to call the final days here in May for James Harden. Heightened awareness week for James Harden. So this all stemmed, of course, and we touched on this earlier in the show. So check out the Java Energy Hour where we discussed the NBA Finals, what's it all looks like it's shaping up to be, and we also discussed Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving in terms of them being in the conversation of being the all-time best backcourt. So I won't belabor that point right now. But certainly James Harden and Chris Paul, in terms of talent, in terms of recency, in terms of how fun they are to watch, both individually and within the team environment, within the team aspect, they're fun, and they should be in the conversation. Now, if we're taking backcourt duos, and of course, we have to stick to just purely offensively. This isn't best all round. Chris Paul, more than capable defender. James Harden, not so much. So if this is the criteria, if this is what we're going with, then we obviously have to stick with James Harden, or then we obviously have to pick and stick with offensive in terms of offense. That goes without saying. But would I take James Harden and Chris Paul all time over Jordan and Harper offensively? And again, you have to keep in consideration the eras that they played in. So within the eras that they played in, which would I rather have? I mean, Jordan Harper, undoubtedly. Would I rather have Clay or Thompson or Curry? I think that one's a kind of no obvious. Obviously, we're going with the Golden State Warriors right there. So I I don't really know where this is coming from. I really don't. Would they belong in a top 10 to 15 conversation backcourts of all time? Sure. I could give you that. I'd be willing to concede that. Bryant Fisher, absolutely not. I'm taking the Mamba. Um, let's see who else. Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars. I'm taking that Pistons backcourt, absolutely. And there's a lot to consider when you're trying to have this conversation. In terms of talent, absolutely, they should be involved. And we're gonna welcome Iraq. Iraq, we're discussing the all-time.
We're discussing Chris Paul and James Harden.
Yeah, and where they belong in terms of all-time great backcourts. And I'm keeping the conversation simple, sticking just to offense.
Just to offense. All right. So, all right. We had to clarify that this time. I got it. All right. Man, this has become a very popular topic. I guess it's because of recent success of Mr. Kyrie and Mr. Luka. So, I guess if we're gonna do classic, and we're keeping them to classic positions in terms of like a traditional 1 and a traditional 2, right? So, because obviously the positionings have changed with LeBron and everyone else, point forwards, etc. I still
before you got on, if you want, I said you have to take each duo within the era that they are playing in. So you can't like play this game of how would they have done in the 80s.
Oh no! I wouldn't go into. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Just to clarify that.
Well, no, it's like I'm just gonna go with like how they played in their era, not like hypothetical. How would they have done?
Right.
Yeah. No, and people were sleeping on one really important one yesterday, and that's Kobe and Derek Fisher.
I just said that before you got on.
Yeah, everyone was sleeping on that yesterday. I don't know what's up.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I mean, so like they were ballers, man. I mean, then you can go Manu. You can go Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili. That was a good one. Yeah, because I think Manu played shooting guard. I think.
Yeah. He's a 2.
Yeah, so I think that's a fair one for sure. So yeah,
I mean, I'll tell you where this all stemmed from, Rocket. Last night on the broadcast, Stan Van Gundy said that Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic are the best offensive backcourt of all time. That's where this is all stemming from.
Well, that's absolutely nonsense.
Right.
I mean,
and so this is why specifically now people are saying Harden and Chris Paul would deserve that recognition over those two. Do you agree with that or no?
No. No. Well, it's a smaller sample size. It's a smaller sample size potential wise. I like this group better because I know, in my opinion, Luka is top to bottom a better player, more talented player than James Harden is. Even even if it's not both ways, just offense.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Luka's better overall. He's like a better passer, and I know the numbers, etc. But he also is more tenacious in the playoffs. I mean, they're not even best in this generation. I mean, Steph and Clay are the freaking best arguably the best backcourt of all time, especially offensively.
Yes.
At least offensively. So, I mean,
yes.
I don't know what Stan Van Gundy's smoking on, but it's just I would say I want to get some of that, but I don't want to get any of that because that makes me sound that's a dumb thing to say. But yeah, no, Steph and Clay would definitely be number 1.
Yeah. And then I threw in Jordan Harper offensively. I would take them 2 over just in terms of success. I think you have to.
Yeah, I agree. That makes a lot more sense to me. So yeah. Oh.
And then Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, I would have over Harden, Paul.
You can say Clyde and Earl the Pearl Monroe for the
day. Yes.
Yeah, there's a bunch. I mean, again, this is like, I know we are counting LeBron, but he basically is a point guard. So I mean, he's just a big ass point guard. That's all. So, but I mean, KD's been at times of his career. KD's kind of been one. I mean, hell, you want to even count? Well, I mean, there was for that 1 year there was James Harden and Russell Westbrook for those couple of years. There was KD. I guess we're counting. You don't count him as a 2 guard, but him and Russ were about that. Hell, you can even.
Yeah.
I mean, what's another one? Jalen Rose and Reggie Miller were a good one.
Good, yes.
Yeah, thought about that. There's a lot of good ones. Man. I don't think that Luka and they're just scratching the surface, small sample size. They haven't won. Yeah. They don't have any hardware yet. Granted, Reggie didn't get any hardware either. Well, they had a Western championship, but not Western. Excuse me. They had an Eastern championship. Ooh, so yeah, there's plenty. That's a good amount right there.
Yeah. Look at us going deep.
Okay.
Either way, this brings up a more pertinent question, a more realistic question. Maybe it's not even realistic. I don't know. Are we going to see a James Harden, Chris Paul reunion? I know he's your former boss, Chris Paul, but are we going to see this reunion in the LA Clippers? Not at the Staples Center. This is another thing that I'm seeing gaining traction. Iraq.
A reunion for him just being back in the Clippers uniform. You mean?
Both of them.
I don't know about that. That's I don't know, man. I mean, anything's possible. I mean, the Clippers have Russell Westbrook, and he is a way better option at this point in his career than Chris Paul is. I mean, that's just personal opinion. And I know, shout out, I know he's like my boss. Technically my boss. At least during the season. So, no offense, bro. I mean, you're a Hall of Famer, bro, but one of the best point guards of all time. And you're from Winston-Salem. But at the same time, right now Russ is at a better point in his career. Still, yeah. No, I mean, it's possible. I think there's more of a chance that Ty Lue doesn't stay a Clippers coach than there is of Chris Paul becoming a Clippers point guard. That I could see a lot more.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. All right, Iraq. We have one more topic to go over on this Memorial Day weekend. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Hopefully, you get your earbud situation.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bill Walton. Now, this is a story that saddened me because I know people like to make fun of him, and I know people were like almost angry at the television sets, especially toward the end when it was on the Pac-12 network. But genuinely, I enjoyed listening to him talk. If he talked for 3 hours about nothing, I would have enjoyed every moment of it. But either way, he's passed. Kind of your reaction, what you think he meant to the sport. Kind of leave it open up to you. Go ahead, Iraq.
Testing 1 2 3.
Oh. You sound good.
Yep, sound good. So, can you hear me good? I was trying to block out the. I do love the sound of kids having fun in the pool, but
it's a nice aesthetic.
It is a nice aesthetic. It's good for the holidays. Only thing I'm missing is we're not grilling out food right now. It sucks because there's a grill right behind me at my girl's pool. So, with respect to Bill Walton, I'll always remember him more as a player than I wasn't privy to watch him like play, but I've seen a lot of his highlights. He's arguably one of the best college centers of all time. And yeah, he is a beloved TV character. I couldn't stand listening to him in his later years because listening to him call UNC games, it was like he would talk about absolutely nothing. Like he said, absolutely nothing at times. And it was driving me crazy. All right. Well, okay. It's like, what am I looking at? So, yeah, I mean, but he is still a legend, and he was one of the best in his prime time. He was a great pro ball player, and he was also. I mean, he's a legend. He's an all-timer for sure, and he was a very good personality, specifically in the '90s for commentating. Now it started, age will do that to you. I mean, but he will be missed, and I will remember him fondly for sure. Nothing but love, man. Nothing but love.
It's forgotten too. He's a two-time NBA champion, where he was the key piece for the Portland Trailblazers, and then coming up as a sixth man on that Celtics team. Let's see, Jordan, how are you sounding now?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Jordan, how are you?
Doing good. Just going home right now. Yeah, Bill Walton, like I was a little surprised, like he passed, but not really. Like, what else there to say? He was a legend. Like, and there's really nothing else to say. Pretty personally.
Right, fair enough. It is like the timing is somewhat coincidental. He passes of person who's synonymous with the Pac-12, and Iraq has coined it the Pac-2 for quite a while now.
Yeah,
It's almost fitting that it's almost fitting. Like, what the hell is going to happen with the Pac-2, Pac-12, or Pac half? What's actually going to happen? Go ahead, Jordan. You first while you're still there.
For, for me, yeah, Pac-2 is gonna be dead. The Pac-12 was dead during that final college baseball game. Like, yeah, like it is weird and synonymous that he passed while the Pac-12 is dead. But like, yeah, like I find it a real coincidence, but also like showing that like someone's legacy inside the Pac-12, it's gone, it's died because of the greed of like various TV networks and such. Mostly some conferences themselves trying to move to the bigger conferences, trying to deal with big boys. When in reality, it's like, what are you doing, dude? Come on. Oh,
actually.
Oh, really nice, Jordan. I'm gonna mute you while we get Iraq's thoughts. Okay, go ahead, Iraq.
There actually is no more Pac-2 anyway. That's officially gone too. They're going to the Mountain West. The remaining two are going to the Mountain West. So yeah, there is officially no more Pac. It used to be Pac-10 when I was growing up, then became Pac-12, and went back to Pac-10 to 8 to something. I don't know. They just need to stop putting numbers on these conferences because it's just ridiculous. It's like you call it like Conference A, Conference B, Conference C, etc. I don't know. The South A, South B, something like that. I don't know. Or just make it like half the country should be like NBA East and West. There you go. That would never happen, but still.
I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, but it would never happen. There's too much power, and the commissioners have all the power in the college football world. Maybe college basketball and football. But actually, that's the only sport the NCAA actually has any power on is college basketball because they own the rights to March Madness. That is literally the only thing they got. The other things are owned by everyone else. Okay. But yeah, Bill Walton, yeah. It is kind of apropos that happened. Second best UCLA Bruin of all time, not counting John Wooden, who's the best college basketball coach of all time. Like, just a consummate professional and a freaking double-digit champion, most consecutive ones, and the best one is actually still around with us. Bless him for sure. And that would be Kareem, or back then Lou Alcindor, aka Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. That's arguably, if not the best center of all time. I still probably have him down as the best. So, but Bill Walton was an extreme, and I almost forgot about the Portland team that he represented. That was like a little bit before Clyde Drexler. Clyde Drexler came into the league, I'm pretty sure. That might have been right beforehand. And Portland has barely sniffed. They've only sniffed a title one time, and they got beaten 6 by Mr. Jordan of North Carolina. Not this Jordan, Michael Jordan, I should say. His Royal Heritage.
Yeah.
I don't think he was around yet. I don't think this Jordan was around when that happened in 1992.
No.
But yeah.
Although it must be said, that Jordan was, one of the best one of the best offensive backcourts of all time with Harper. So that needs to be said. One point of clarification, though.
Him and Kerr and him and Harper. Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
Either way, it's not Doncic and Irving as of now. Either way.
Apparently not. Yeah.
One thing, technically, technically it is still the Pac-2 as of right now. So what they are doing is they're playing the Mountain West schedule, but technically speaking, they are still the Pac-12. The official Pac-2, for all intents and purposes. But yeah, it's just what they're really doing is seeing who's going to blink first. Are they going to join the Mountain West, or are the Mountain West teams going to join the Pac-12 again? So that's really what's in the works. Jordan, you seem to just have something you want to say, and I'm for it. I'm with it.
He wants to say he was on that Bulls team. He was on that Bulls team.
I wasn't on that Bulls team. I wish I was. But yeah, Pac-12. But like you brought up something very interesting, Gabe. Like the Mountain West and like Pac-12 is really guys, really. You're gonna try to see like, come on, guys, join the Pac-2. Come on, we'll get you all the money and the schedule and all the nice things. And I'm like, you're trying to take away from the group of five conferences, like, and that's basically what the ACC did with SMU. They took SMU away from the AAC, which is weird, but like I actually kind of get why. But yeah, it's gonna be a strange situation either way. But I'm all for the chaos, man. Make it the Pac-12 with all these Boise State, baby.
I mean, to be fair, that makes more sense than Stanford and Berkeley being in the ACC. That actually makes more sense because it's closer.
Yes.
To be fair,
I'm absolutely shocked Jordan is rooting for chaos. Absolutely shocked.
Yeah, I know, right?
What did you? The bringer of rain, Ramos. Love that. Love that. Go ahead, Iraq. Since we're now on conference realignment, first of all, the Conference of Champions, for sure, no more. You mentioned that you want to see an East-West and that's a dream scenario. I love that. What do you see as an actual realistic possibility that would actually work moving forward?
Ben Simmons to the New York Knicks. God, I can hear New York fans just screaming from the top rooftops right now of their apartment buildings, yelling from their office buildings. Yeah, if that actually happened. I do like the East-West thing. I know, again, it'll never happen. But I'm almost saying that just as like they might as well put caution to the wind because, F it, dude. It's like it's going to I mean, there are going to be no more conferences, essentially, more than 3. I mean, the ACC's gone up 12% in revenue because they've acquired so much money from SMU, from that oil money, and from the two of the most prestigious public schools in America. I think Stanford's public. I know Berkeley is, but I think Stanford is public technically. But I don't know. But they're both extremely. They're both stacked with Olympic talent. So that's one of the things going to help. They're still not. They're still not going to. But it's the Pac or the Big 10, the Big 30. Or the Big 20, whatever, and the SEC, where I guess we'll call it the SEC because now it's like flooded into California. Wait, no, it's flooded into like West Texas now. It's like, and I don't count that as the Southeast. I don't know about anyone else geographically. But then again, the ACC is not the Atlantic; it's the All Coast Conference. So they should have gone with like. They should have gone with like the Athletic Coast Conference or something. I don't know. Still, that's a different story. The most realistic thing is it's going to just break down to where it's going to be a literal power. And I actually could see, shows how desperate the Pac-12 is, or the Pac-2 is. They're trying to envelop, trying to absorb. They're like so desperate to keep it going that they're just to run it back. They're just going to take like Colorado State, Utah State, Boise State. Boise State actually wouldn't be that bad. Or what, Grand Canyon University going to be on there too? I don't know.
We're taking all the states, baby.
Nevada State. I don't know. Yeah. So I mean, good for Wyoming. I don't know. So good for them. They really want to be like that. Have fun with it. But they're gonna be irrelevant. They might as well just be the Mountain West at that point because no one's gonna care.
Yeah.
All
fair.
those Pac-12
fair.
after 2 a.m. games. God.
Now, hey, Oregon State's the Beavers are finally going to be they're going to be the best team in that conference. There you go. At least they hope. At least they hope they are.
In their dreams. Don't worry.
The Beavers. Yeah.
Joe's asking us, how's it going, esteemed colleagues? And then he goes on to say, Chip Kelly suggested just putting everyone under one umbrella, having one commissioner at this point, and his name would be Joe Biden. What do you think, Jordan?
His name would be Joe Biden.
That is the dumbest thing I ever heard from Chip Kelly. Like one of the dumbest thing I ever heard from him.
Not really. At this point, there are no dumb ideas anymore. There are no more dumb ideas. What are you talking about?
How do you put every single school into one umbrella? All this chaos, like
you like chaos.
Like I like it, but like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with them? Like when USC complains about something, or like some fucking, oh my goodness, Alabama fans are gonna complain about, oh my goodness, we're gonna face all these real teams.
I don't know. Ask Joe Biden. Apparently, he's going to run it.
Well, I added that part.
Or Kamala Harris is. That'll be the new job of the vice president.
No, she's gonna run. No, she's gonna run it, right? She's gonna run with those caps, baby. You're trying to enforce all the rules, like all.
Oh my. There we go.
Oh God, you brought her up.
Let Clarence Thomas.
Oh God,
no.
Oh no.
Oh, hell nah.
Rudy Giuliani, something like that. Okay.
Yeah, Rudy. Yes, I want that orange SOB to run a college program to the ground. Oh my goodness, it'll be amazing. I love it.
Hey man, he's too busy trying to sell his custom coffee, craft coffee he just came up with. Freedom Coffee or whatever it is now. There you go.
Hey,
Joe, if you're still listening.
Freedom.
Joe, if you're still listening, what former New York City-based politician would you want running college football? That's my big question for you.
Ooh,
But E-Rock, I don't know. Could you see this? We'll call it the one conference solution. That would work with what you're saying, right? Then have it be the two conferences. That could work.
Yeah, two conferences work.
It could work, but there's too much greed and power with the commissioners of the Big Ten, Big 20, and the SEC. There's way too much power. Too much power there. They are the real faces of college football, I should say.
Yeah.
NCAA only power they have, which is negligible, especially with their most recent. Yeah, Giuliani. He's going to use that platform to sell his coffee. There you go.
Exactly.
In honor of Jordan Want to See Chaos. There you go.
Exactly.
We can have Rudy and Hillary like splitting the responsibilities, like yin and yang. There you go. Two former New York politicians.
Oh God, Yin Yang. Jesus Christ, that lead might go down in 3 years, at best.
It's already kind of going that way. The NCAA is literally getting they're getting teeth taken out of their mouth one at a time. They're going to be gumming it at this point.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. So, I mean, realistically, it wouldn't happen. But would it be better? Yeah, I'd love to see East-West.
Yeah.
It makes sense. If at the worst, do a 4. This makes it better. Like, do 4 regions. That way, because like one of those quadrants in math,
there we go.
Because then you don't have to, for people for the sports that aren't as heavily endorsed, they don't have to travel cross country. They can actually be in class, So I think that's good.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that. All right, gentlemen, we got to get out of here. E-Rock, when's your next show?
Our next show, Scoutcast Media, is going to be in 25 minutes, sirs. We will. I might actually have to piggyback on this conference realignment thing here because I dig it. I dig it. And I love this game of chicken that the Pat whatever and the Mountain West. Why don't we call it the Pac? Let's call it the Pac West. There we go. Pac West.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pac West.
Pac West, baby. Like Pac-Man, he's eating on the rest.
I should be in charge. I would never do that. That'd be a job from hell. Oh my god, being in charge of all those damn voices. It's already be tough enough.
Oh no, yeah,
It'd already be tough enough being
Yeah.
a commissioner.
Yeah, you'll probably be like this. I'm out.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah.
out. I'd be out, man. I'd be like, no, I have to deal with billionaires being an NFL commissioner, much less.
Yeah,
being
yeah.
No,
All right, gentlemen. And speaking of beating out, we are out here. Check out Erock Scoutcast Media Hub. We'll be on there very shortly. And then check out Jordan Ramos. It is JC Ramos 100, if I'm not mistaken. So go check him on the Twitter. Oh, I was so close. So sorry. Yeah, I better repeat that. Yep, JC Ramos 617 on the Twitter, and then at livinggood09 on the Twitter. Check him out, gentlemen. Have a great rest of your Memorial Day. See you later.
See you soon. Happy Memorial Day.